Alright, so I reviewed my video, and where I'm just kind of talking about my experience with shadow integration, and I want to talk about some other stuff. First of all, I want to just say, when I'm using the term shadow integration, it's just the term that I'm using. It has nothing to do necessarily with psychology or anything like that. It's just, what other term can I use? And if you understand what I mean when I say shadow integration, then that's all. It's just a term to clarify what I'm talking about, you know. And oh shit, what is going on here, man? So that's all it is. It's just a term. I'm not trying to use this as a buzz term to get you to start watching new age fucking YouTube videos, or to get you to start going to see a therapist or a psychologist or nothing. And that's what I kind of want to segue from the last video to this one is, what is the monetary cost of shadow integration? How much does it cost for a person to practice this art that I'm referencing as shadow integration? Okay, first of all, again, I'm only using the term shadow integration to get the basic idea across. Like, I'm sure there are many other terms that I could use, but I'm just going to use that one. And I like it, you know. I find it fitting. But, call it whatever you want. If you know what I'm referencing when I say shadow integration, you can replace that term with whatever you call it. I don't know. That's just what I call it. So, how much would it cost me to do shadow integration? You know, am I supposed to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or any of this stuff? You know, so I'll just draw back from my experience, which didn't cost me anything. Didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. The only reason I use the term shadow integration is because after having done it for a long time, I started kind of looking into it, and I've taken some different college courses on psychology, and so I understand what the term means, shadow integration. But when I was first introduced to it, they didn't call it shadow integration. They didn't have any fancy words for it. You know, it was just, this is what you do, you know. And so I didn't find out till much later that all the time that I was doing that's what shadow integration is. Okay, so how much does it cost to do the shadow integration thing? And based off of my experience, it didn't cost me nothing. And I know tons of people that have done it, and it worked for them. And they had the same experience as me. They didn't go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist. They just, it was, you ever heard that song that says, I get by with a little help from my friends? You know, that's what it is. So I started getting, unbeknownst to me, I started building friendships with people that knew more about this than me. I didn't know anything about it. And when they saw me facing different challenges in life, these friends that I had built knew about this. And again, they didn't call it shadow integration and use all these fancy buzz terms. There was no fancy buzz term. It wasn't fancy or stylish at all. You know, it was just like plain, simple fucking blah, like this. It wasn't attractive. It didn't have hippie designs on it, and it had nothing to do with any of this new age dumbass bullshit. And it had nothing to do with spending hundreds of dollars per psycho session with the psychopharmacology and all that. It had nothing to do with any of that. It was just that I had friends that, unbeknownst to me, were advanced, especially compared to me, were advanced in all this stuff. And they didn't use it to beat me over the head and to show how much superior they are to me or to try to exploit me. They were just genuine friends that shared it with me and just shared it with me. And even then I was still reluctant. I had all the same reluctancies, doubt, disbelief, and even fear, believe it or not. You would be surprised how many people are afraid of their own shadow, dude. That's what the fucking phrase "afraid of your own shadow" means. Have you ever heard that? He's afraid of his own shadow. People are afraid to look at themselves. That's why the mirror thing is so fascinating to me. The thing. I mean, think about self-awareness. How much does it cost to be self-aware? Does a person have to spend a bunch of money? No, none of this. Okay, think of it this way. Seek and you shall find. If a person really wants to look into this and they seek it out, they're gonna find it. They're gonna find. If you're listening to this video, you found it. It's not something that costs money. Now, sure, there are all these fucking scam artists and scams and all this shit. Or if you pay me $100 per hour, I can tell you how to do this. That's bullshit. No, this shouldn't. It doesn't cost. Anybody that's telling you that it costs money, that they're going to charge you. That's like somebody charging you money for the truth. The truth, you can't monetize the fucking truth. So anybody that's monetizing the truth, tell them to fucking stick it up their fucking ass. You're not interested. Because the very principle of monetizing truth is deceit. That is deceit in its purest form. How much more deceitful does a person have to be when they present themselves to you as they will give you the truth for a price if you pay them money? Give them some money and they'll tell you the truth. Of course not. Of course not. Now, you might get some truth, but if they're charging you money for truth, they're only going to give you a little bit of truth because they want you as a repeat customer. So then you're going to be coming back and paying more money for more truth. That's why the truther movement is such bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all monetized bullshit. Monetized fucking bullshit. If you really want some truth or whatever, and ask me before you go and spend a bunch of money at a psychologist or a psychiatrist, just ask me. Because I'll and then take it for what it's worth. Ask me or ask other people. And then just take their word for what it's worth, what's the point in spending a bunch of money? The truth is not monetized, and anybody monetizing it is a fucking liar, hands down. And so all these years that I've done this, I didn't pay a fucking cent, dude. I didn't pay one fucking cent. There are people that understand this shit and they will not charge you a fucking penny, and they'd be glad to guide you through it. Do you want to know why they would be glad to guide you through it? It's because by guiding someone else through it helps that person. So like if somebody came to me and wanted me to guide them through this thing that I'm talking about, which I refer to as shadow integration, the biggest reason that I would agree to do it is because it helps me grow. It helps me refine my shadow integration by guiding someone else through it. So it's a win-win. My light shines brighter by helping someone else's light shine. Do you see? And of course, you're always going to have frauds in all of this stuff, but that doesn't mean that that there aren't real people that are really doing that, and they're doing it for their own benefit. By helping others, I help myself. I've brought this quote up many times because this is what shadow integration is all about, okay? If I learn shadow integration and I find it to be beneficial to me, okay, and then the opportunity presents itself where someone wants me to like show them and explain it to them, like whatever I've learned from someone else, they want me to pass it to them. Well, by helping others is how I help myself. That's the way shadow integration works, is by helping others is how we help ourselves. And dude, like, this is not fake. This is not a fraud. This is not fake. And I'm not pitching nothing. You'll not see any links on my videos. You'll not see anything where it's like not even a buy me a coffee thing. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care about any of that shit. And I am like, dude, there are many, many people like me. Now, discerning them is the trick, and I understand. The whole trick to discerning people is very challenging. But there are a lot of people that understand that in helping others is how one helps oneself, and they are happy to freely give of this process. You know, the only thing that shadow integration costs is the individual's work. The cost is fear, letting go of fear. The cost is letting go of doubt and letting go of disbelief. The cost is taking the time to do the writing that I talk about in the previous video, where a person writes all this shit down, takes guidance from someone else, and reluctantly agrees, like, okay, I guess I'll try it, but whatever. I doubt it's going to work, but here we go. That's the cost, is like being burdened with the fucking inconvenience of doing this thing that you already know in your mind isn't real. It's all just a scam. It's just more bullshit, and just doing it anyways. Or for whatever reason, like, this is all bullshit. I don't want to do this. But since I'm in such a state of desperation and I really don't have anything to lose at this point but to try it, I guess I'll do it. You know, that's the cost. Has nothing to do with money. Can you afford some paper and a pen? Okay, and so no, like psychologists and psychiatrists, I guess, I didn't have to do that, and I know scores and scores of people that found this the same way I did, where we didn't pay nothing. The cost was, first of all, being driven into a state of desperation to be willing to try it, and then doing it because I had nothing to lose at that point, That's the cost, But like, yeah, paying for psychologists and psychiatrists, I'll just say right now, I don't know anything about that. Maybe somebody else does. That's someone else's experience, isn't mine. And the scores of people that I know that showed me how to do it, they didn't have that experience either. They didn't learn it by paying psychologists and psychiatrists and all this other shit. So, and it's very rare that anyone will ever like come to me and want me to show them this. So whenever the rare opportunity presents itself, I'm like super glad. I'm like, fuck, that's cool, And but then a person has to be willing to, take my suggestions that I got from someone before me, Anyways, so this is how all this works, and it's unbelievable. Just like the Matrix is unbelievable. Just like when Morpheus showed Neo that the Matrix wants to turn you into a battery, and then that's when Neo flipped out and he's like, "Get me the fuck out of here. Get me away from you. I don't want nothing to do with this. Get away from me." Remember that scene in the Matrix? When fucking Morpheus explains to Neo that the fucking Matrix is designed to turn you into a fucking battery, and shows him the Duracell. And then fucking Neo's like, "Get me out of here. Fuck you." You know, fear. All of a sudden he's like, fear, doubt, disbelief. I don't believe it. Get me out of here. Get me away from you. I don't want, get away from me, you know? Yeah. There's a saying that says, when the pain of holding on becomes greater than the fear of letting go, that's when growth happens. When growth happens in a person, which is what shadow integration is all about, personal growth. This is when growth happens, is when the pain becomes so bad that the pain is worse than the fear of letting go. That's when a person lets go of the fear, is when the pain becomes greater than the fear of letting go. So what's the saying? It goes, when the pain of, I forgot it. I just said it, but now I forgot it. When the pain of holding on becomes greater than the fear of letting go, that's when change happens. So people will only do the shadow integration when it becomes so painful that the pain is greater than the fear of letting it go. Where Morpheus says to Neo, you got to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, disbelief. Free your mind. That's when change happens. That's when shadow integration, the process begins, is when a person is in such a state of pain that it becomes greater than the fear of just letting go and just doing something, just taking action. And that's what the shadow integration is like shit's gotten so bad that I got to do something, man. I can't just fucking keep going on like this. Something is wrong with me, and I need to look at myself. What the fuck is wrong with me? What am I doing? Right? But yeah, so I mean, you know, like I could say in this video, I could say, if anybody is interested in further exploring this, leave a comment below and blah, blah, blah. You know, I could do all this stuff, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know, because, you know, it just is what it is. You know, for all you know, I'm just some bullshitter and blah, blah, blah. I totally get it. But yeah, I always look for opportunity to share the process of shadow integration with other people, and I'm always confronted with skepticism, doubt, disbelief, you know, and on and on, and so it's very common. That is the most common thing. Like if you have a similar experience as me, then you know the same thing. Like to get anybody to really listen to you, and that's what the movie The Matrix is about. Like fucking Morpheus, you know, nobody's gonna listen to Morpheus. You know, why was Neo looking for Morpheus? It was really what it was a state of desperation. You look the way at Neo's life. Did he look happy at his job? No. Or his boss is lecturing him about, about being late for work. Did Neo look happy? No. When Neo is sitting at his desk staring at his computer, did he look happy? No. When Neo's at his house and the door knocks and the people are there to, does he look? He doesn't look happy. He knows, just like Morpheus says in the movie, where it's like the Matrix is everywhere. You feel it everywhere. You can feel it. It's this mundane, like draining, like splinter in your mind, on and on. And, you feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. Is the veil that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth, and that that you are a slave, you know. And dude, that's what like the shadow is. Like if a person is not doing this stuff, they are a slave to their shadow, and it never ends. It's never mastered. It is a lifelong process. Just like being a jazz player is a lifelong process, you know. If you want to go into the music analogy of things, being a jazz player is a lifelong process, because music, the endless thing of different chord progressions and on and on and on. And so a jazz player is never mastered. It's always an ongoing thing. But that's what, so anyways, so I don't think that this video I'm going to be like having people are like, please tell me more. Yes, I want to know more about you. And how did you, I want to find this thing too, you know. Nobody's going to do that, you know. I've been doing this for a while, and most people don't want it. And that's the thing. Most people don't want the truth. That's why I talk about how the truth isn't popular. People don't want the truth. And I talk about like that scene where the guy's like, the thing you got to know about the truth is there's what people want to hear. There's what people want to believe. There's everything else. Then there's the truth, which goes into the scene in the movie The Matrix, where he's like, you can take the blue pill and believe whatever you want to believe, you know. But as far as like, yeah, no, dude, the real deal is you're going to come across someone in your life. You probably do. We all do, and we don't know. That's why a person always has to question everything, you know. We don't know what's going on. Like when we come across people, that we don't really know. For all we know, they are, you know, we don't know how many times we may come across the proverbial Morpheus in our daily activities, and we just never stopped to engage them because it never crossed our mind. We just assumed, oh, that's another NPC. That's just some dumb person, another sheeple. We don't know how many times we've encountered a Morpheus type person that we just assumed was just another sheeple or NPC. You never know with people. You never fucking know one way or the other. Just like Cypher, you know. You never know with people. Cypher was one of the unplugged people. Well, you never know. He decides to plug back in and fucking, you know, pulls a Judas kiss on Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar. You never know with people either way. You never fucking know, man. And there's a lot of that in the Matrix, like where everyone is a potential agent. Like, see, look at all these people. All these people are plugged in, and if you're not one of us, you're one of them. You're a potential agent, you know. And then the agent will just, you know, shapeshift from a person into the agent, you know. You just never know with people one way or another. And but I've encountered many people, and maybe it's just because I'm lucky, I don't know why, but I've encountered many people in my life, and they're the ones that taught me all about shadow integration. And they never used the term shadow integration. They didn't present me with books that have the hippie lotus flower on the cover and all this woo-woo. It was nothing like that. Like, whatever they did present me was the most uninteresting looking, most boring, most just like, it wasn't all this glitter and glamour and, oh, and they're these influencers with all this bullshit. They weren't, and I fucking have gotten to know tons of them since I started doing the shadow integration. Dude, I know scores of people, and we've all had the same experience. And it's like I was saying in the last video, it's all about you know, getting others to, because part of the experience of this is seeing other people grow. And it is amazing when you watch the beginning processes of someone starting the shadow integration process, and the light comes on, and you see the light come on, and then you see it grow, and next thing you know, they're fucking beaming, and then they're laying down more profound shit than you, and you've been doing it for 20 years. And it's all good. Like, it's all fucking good in that sense, where if someone else starts growing more than me, I'm happy, because also I had a part to do in helping them get the process going and stuff, like, and you know, it's just you know, I guess I'll end it with that thing where it says, in helping others, we help ourselves, you know. There are two paths in life. The short-sighted embark on the dishonest path, the wise on the honest path, because the wise know the truth that in helping others, we help ourselves, and in hurting others, we hurt ourselves. And if someone is trying to charge you $100 an hour to do the process of shadow integration, that's harmful. That's using the truth to profit, monetary profit. That is harmful. That is not being helpful. And so, yes, no, you know, they shouldn't be charging money. No one should. Again, that's why I strongly dislike the truther community. It is all about money, making money off of their YouTube channels, and they're all fakes. That's how you can easily discern someone who's a fake. If they're making a bunch of money off of it, and they're getting all these accolades of praise on YouTube and shit, they're a fucking fake fraud, and that's it. Bottom line, there is, and I'll explain this, and I'll have people trying to defend these channels and tell, oh no, that's not true. And see, that's what I'm saying. See, these people, they want these YouTube internet influencers. They want to look to those people as if those are the ones. They're always the frauds. They're the fakest motherfuckers. So no, the cost of shadow integration, if anybody tries to tell you there's a cost to it, stay the fuck away from them, including all these dumb fucking YouTube influencer bullshit new age truther channels. They're all fucking fakes and fucking frauds.